who the country's new president will be. It is expected to be a tie race between leftist incumbent Dilma Rousseff and Social Democrat Aécio Neves. Polls gave an edge to Rousseff, but Neves is the candidate of choice for people most concerned about economic growth. CNN's Shasta Darlington joins us now live from near a polling station in Sao Paulo. Do we have any numbers, any results?
We do, Jonathan. Because this is an electronic modern voting system here, we in fact already have 98% of the votes counted. Remember, most of the polls closed a couple of hours ago. There were just a few left open. And according to this, Dilma Rousseff is in the lead. She's got 51.45% of the vote. But as you mentioned, this is a tight race, so Aécio Neves has 48.55% of the vote. We actually expect this to pretty much hold out because the votes that are counted last are the ones in the north and the northeast, where Dilma Rousseff has a strong support base. So it looks very likely that she will be re-elected and that the Workers' Party will continue its rule here in Brazil. They've been in power for the last 12 years. So despite a very heated race, a lot of attack ads and mudslinging, Dilma Rousseff and the Workers' Party look on track to continue their government here, Jonathan.
What is this going to mean for Brazil? I mean, a very polarized electorate and a nasty campaign, as you say.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think what we've been saying all along is no matter who wins, what they have to look forward to is a very troubled economy. The next president will have to work on getting growth back on track. Brazil went into recession in the first half of the year. This is the same country that was growing 7.5% in 2010. The next president will have to rein in inflation, and the next president will also have to maintain the social programs that have really been a characteristic of these last 12 years, because this is, of course, what they're being elected to do. So many people, especially Brazil's poorest, have moved out of the poverty into the working class, and this is a tendency that's going to have to continue. It's not going to be easy, and 2015 we probably won't see a whole lot of growth. It's going to be a year to get all of your pieces in place to set the economy up for that growth in the future. And unfortunately, economists and investors have less confidence in Dilma Rousseff than they do in Aécio Neves. So difficult road ahead, and in a country that is now more polarized than we've seen for decades, probably since the military dictatorship ended. This has been such an ugly campaign that you really have seen not only the accusations going back and forth between the candidates, but also among the voters on the streets. So it's going to take a while for everyone to calm down, get under control, and take a deep breath and start moving forward, Jonathan.
Shasta Darlington in Sao Paulo, where once again, with the results almost completely in, it looks like Dilma Rousseff has been re-elected to the presidency of Brazil. Thanks very much.
Voters also because she'll have to reconcile this nation that's so split, and after a campaign that's been so polarized with those against the Workers' Party, not only supporting Aécio Neves, but at times really just saying that they are against the Workers' Party, against the PT, as the party is known here, and wanting some change for the country.
Yeah, so as we're getting more information about this, AFP is saying that 99% of the votes counted, as you said there, Julia, with Dilma Rousseff winning 51.52% of the vote. I mean, this is close. Just tell us what has been the most contentious issue of the campaign between these two. Aécio Neves on the one hand and Dilma Rousseff. I mean, there's not a lot dividing them when it comes to the electorate in Brazil.
No, it's very, very close, and I think the economy really this time, well, it always is at the center of a choice like this, but because Brazilian economy is in a quite battered situation with a slowdown in growth over the last years, and now technically in recession, there has been lots of questioning of the president's policies in the country, and Aécio Neves had presented himself as a business-friendly candidate, one that could bring the economy back on track, often saying that he would be an efficient manager and would promote a kind of the shock and restructuring of the country's accounts. But on the other hand, President Dilma Rousseff has lots of support in the north and northeast of Brazil, in areas that are strongly benefited by the government's social policies, and also among people from different classes that support the fact that this is the main focus of the PT, addressing inequality and prioritizing social policies. Another issue has been corruption. The Workers' Party has been involved in some corruption scandals in its 12-year rule, and there's another allegation at the moment involving the oil giant Petrobras, and this is something that President Rousseff will also have to prove that she does not condone these actions in the campaign.
Julia, thank you very much for that. Julia Canheiro there reporting for us on this breaking news that you can see that Dilma Rousseff has won a second term as president of Brazil. It's just approaching 6 minutes past 9 there in the evening, and these are the pictures live from the headquarters of the Workers' Party, President Rousseff's party in Brasilia. We may well see her come out and make a speech. If she does so, hopefully in English, we'll bring that to you live here on BBC World.
Monsieur Neves, in Shasta Darlington joins us now live from Sao Paulo. We've got the numbers, I guess, as close or maybe even closer than the polls predicted.
Exactly, Jonathan. There's still a few more votes to count. We've got about 99.5% of the votes counted. Dilma Rousseff has 51.59% of the vote, and Aécio Neves 48.41% of the vote. This is one of the tightest races in Brazilian history, if not the tightest, and it's really been one of the ugliest as well, with a lot of attack ads, a lot of mudslinging, and Brazil kind of divided into two camps. Basically, a lot of people concerned about the social programs and subsidies that were implemented by Dilma Rousseff and her leftist Workers' Party over the last 12 years, worried that those might disappear if she were not reelected, and another half of the population more focused on the macro economy, wanting to see the GDP pick up again. You know, the Brazilian economy went into recession in the first half of the year. Inflation is picking up, and so they're more focused on trying to get the overall economy back on track. But what we saw is the two candidates accusing each other of corruption and nepotism, and then the supporters out on the streets also getting in fights and some pretty angry disagreements over social media as well. Unfortunately, this has left a fairly polarized country, so that the Dilma Rousseff will now have not only to deal with all of the problems of getting the economy back on track, but also bringing the country back together, Jonathan.
Now, there are a lot of places in the world, to be fair, where she is not a household name. So tell us about Dilma Rousseff, because she is a really remarkable woman.
She is. She has an extraordinary story. She was actually a Marxist guerrilla during the military dictatorship here. She opposed the dictatorship. She was arrested. She was tortured. I actually had a dinner with her and some other foreign correspondents where she told us a bit about this. She had a very difficult history at that point. When she got out of jail, she got into politics, and she was with the Workers' Party when the first president was elected, again, 12 years ago, was the energy and mines, the energy minister, and then she was kind of his hand-picked successor. Unfortunately, during the last 4 years under Dilma Rousseff, the economy has really slowed down after some high growth that we saw thanks to exports to China. And again, this is why many of the people who had originally supported the Workers' Party started to turn on her, thinking that she can't handle the economy as well as her predecessor did. But again, she's got a lot of supporters here and a big challenging job ahead, Jonathan.
Shasta Darlington in Sao Paulo. Thanks very much.